Hi everyone, welcome to our IXIASOFT webcast. My name's Sarah O'Keefe. Just wanted to do a couple of quick introductory things and then we'll jump right in and get started. So first of all, we're really happy to have these vendor webcasts to give you an opportunity to see some of these tools in action and talk directly with all these people that are making all these cool things. So we have Jean-François Ameye on the line today, and he is going to talk to you about IXIASOFT. Just before we do that, we did want to get an idea of what kind of an audience we have here, so we wanted to ask you about DITA and whether you use it. So I'm going to go ahead and launch that poll. While you're taking a look at that, I wanted to mention that we are recording this event, and we will post it on our website within a day or two of finishing up here. And if you do have questions, please put those in the questions tab or the questions area, depending on what operating system you're on. We will try and take those as we're going along, or possibly as we wrap up towards the end. We should have some time at the end. All right, so it looks like 90% have voted, so I'm going to close this poll and share the results. And there you go, Jean-François. So 90% are either there or getting there, and about 10% are sort of kind of thinking about it. So that's the group that you have to work with. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jean-François.
All right, so hello everyone. As Sarah told you, today we're going to be looking at our product, the DITA CMS from IXIASOFT. So we're just going to do a few slides very rapidly just to give an overview of the product, and then jump into the demo and look at just a few features. We're going to just produce a short document, do a bit of review, and then look at the contribution, our SME contribution feature. So quickly, if I can switch slide. Okay. So just an overview to show you a bit where the CMS actually is placed within your production. So it's really the core of your production chain for creating content and managing the content that you're creating. So you've got your authors, reviewers, contributors that change the content or work on the content. The CMS at the core with its native XML database, and at the other side we have our output generator, which produces the content to the different deliverables. So the DITA CMS is really focused on the production of the content from creation, review, approval, until it is completed in version, and it doesn't cover the actual distribution. So whether it goes to WebHelp, Eclipse, PDF, the CMS produces that content and then it gets delivered to your user, whichever way it is. They can go on your website and get the package with your product, whatever way you have to deliver your content. A few key differentiator of our solution. The first one is that it's a pure DITA solution. It was designed with DITA in mind, and it's managed uniquely DITA content. So that explains why we have this first question in the poll, because that's a critical factor for deciding whether this is an interesting product for you. Is do you use DITA or not, or are you moving to DITA? Other important differentiators is the unified interface, and we'll be seeing that to the demo, but you have access to all of the features in the CMS within the same application for the authors. So that's really something that the tech writers really appreciate a lot, to have all of the features within the same UI. It's based on a native XML database, which is very important for supporting a standard as DITA, which is extremely flexible and which is evolving. So that, again, is a key differentiator of our product. We have a web reviewer, which we'll be showing. So that's to provide the reviewer an access to the CMS without the need to go to to install the full application. Powerful search engine, a customizable workflow that's also key because as the CMS being at the core of your document creation, it has to adapt to your processes rather than your organization having to change its process to fit into a rigid workflow. So it's very customizable. And finally, it's multi-platform both on the client and the server. And just a quick overview of a few concepts in the workflow. So we have different cycles, which you see here in those big box. So there's one called authoring, published, localization, and formatted. Localization and formatted are optional. The core one are the authoring and the publish. Basically, authoring is where the content is created, where you work on it, when it gets reviewed until it reaches its approval. And the publish workflow is whenever you've completed the work on the document, so the entire document has been approved, then you create a version of it, a snapshot that goes into the publish, and your publish acts as your archives of everything that you've released previously, so that can serve as a baseline for comparison. It serves as a starting point for the localization process if you do localization. It serves also as a starting point for branching if you ever need to go back to a previously released version and you need to edit that, then the published cycle keeps all your previous releases. And today we're going to be really focused on the authoring and between the draft and the review, and really more looking at that portion of the workflow. And there's just a few approval cycles. So that's it for the slides. Sarah told me to keep it brief because everyone wants to see a demo, actually. So this is the CMS user interface. So I hope everybody is able to see the screen clearly. If you're having problems seeing the screen, it's really too small, please just type a question, just a note into the question so that we can act on that. It's somewhat difficult to get the perfect screen resolution for everyone, but we'll try to make sure everybody can see it. So what do we have in this user interface? We have different tabs. So on the right here, you see my DITA map tab, and I actually have a map open in it. In the bottom, there are different other tabs where I have my to-do list, everything that's currently assigned to me. I have my search result if I had run a search, so right now it's currently empty. And the dependency view, which I will also see, which we'll see later on. And that gray area here is actually where topics open when I select them. So I have, from my map here, I select a topic and I can click open, and the topic opens in this editor area. So this is the the unified interface that I explained to you, the key differentiator. So you have the authoring environment here. You can switch between your different topics. You have a map tool where you can create your map, and you have other views to access your content. And hidden on the side here, I have my search view, so which actually pops up on top of here. So this interface is actually configurable. So in this, because we have a fairly small screen resolution, I've decided to have the map, the search view, sorry, that hides automatically to leave more room. But so if I was to go in here and search for any map topic or image that contains the word query. So this gives me 55 results in my search results. And right there you can see and appreciate the first advantage of having a CMS is the ability to navigate through your content via the search and you can have multiple search criteria and then go through all of them. But this we use the full text search, but we have a lot of different criteria that you can select to filter out your results. You can filter out based on the document type, a lot of advanced filters, and also advanced search section where you can go into even more detail to search on specific elements, specific attributes. So, and this becomes really a key factor when you manage data content and you have a lot of different projects, is the ability to navigate through all that, not just by folder, which gives you a very specifically organized view, but more by the search, where you can be sure to cover your entire content set. So what we're going to do, we're going to build a small map, a small document. We're going to reuse some of the topics that exist, create a few new topics, get some of those to the review process, and then get our subject matter expert to collaborate to that document. So we're going to start first by creating our new document. So we're going to create a new map. So if I can just type it right. I'm going to start this map. I'm going to open it, and I have different templates. I'm going to do a standard map, just not a book map for this this demo. So I have my new map. It appears in blue here. This means that it's locked by me, which means it's checked out by me, so I can modify it. And currently other users can see it, but they're not able to modify it. So I did a search on query. I could refine my search and say, well, I want everything that's talk about query plus full text. And now I'm down to 16 results. I have different type of, you see the little icon there shows me whether it's a concept, a task, or a reference. I can put my cursor and see what each topic is. So I have a preview of the topic. So I'm going to take that topic here and drag it. So I just drag it into the map, and it's added to the map. I can drag, I'll drag this one here, create one word query, and I'll drag a few of those operators here under. So I've just very rapidly built a very simple document with reusing existing topic. Now, I may also want to add some content, so some new content that I didn't find. So what I'm going to do is create a new topic and add it to the map. So this one I will call it create a multi-words query. This will be a task as well. I will open it to start working on it, and I will ask here, that second checkbox append to the current map, so that my topic is automatically added to the map. You can see there it's added to the map, and I've got my my topic, my task open here, so I can start typing here and show this topic describes word queries, and then I'm actually not going to put content because this is going to take the entire demo just for me to write a single step, but I can create a new step, and so this topic now, I've made my changes. I will save it. Right now it's still local to my my own local workspace. You see it's still checked in. Now that I've when I complete my my work on it, I will release it, which means I'm going to check the content into the server, and put a comment on the check-in so that it appears in the review history. And now I have my new topic into my map. I need to release my map as well so that the topics I dragged in and the new structure I've built is saved on the server. So I could say this is initial structure. And now I can directly from the CMS again get an output, a preview output of this map. Even if I'm still in the work process, I can still request different output types. So I've got a few basic, the sort of most common output type from the DITA Open Toolkit, but you could add any of the output types in there, any one that you customize, or the others that are part of the OT. I'm just going to do a PDF. There is no condition to it, so simply run that. So now this is going to my server to transform into a PDF, and it's returned to me as a zip file because it may contain multiple files. So I'm going to save that and just quickly show you that PDF. And there you go. You see my map for the webinar. You see the various topic that I used, that I dragged in the map, so they create one-word query error with each of the subtopic, and the one that I actually created and added to the map myself. So that is the first step for the writers to work with the content. You create your documents, or you take an existing document and you lock it to modify it. You search and find your topics that you need, or you take the topics, the existing topics, and you modify them, or you create new topic and you add them to your document. Once I'm satisfied with my authoring work, next step in my workflow is from this work state where I'm currently at. The next step is to move that to review.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think your screen sharing has frozen up.
Oh.
So I'm going to swap you out and then re-hand you the presentation and see if that helps. But we are locked on that right-click pop-up that says create a query using the administration console. Never did see the PDF. So let me turn this off and see what happens. It's just really not any fun unless something happens. All right, so I'm going to throw it back to you, and let's see if we can get it to behave again.
Okay, so can you see it now with the data map?
I can see that. Can you? Yeah, and can you pop up the PDF, because I didn't see it, and I don't think anybody else did.
Okay. The PDF that I generated.
Yep.
Is here.
There it is.
Okay, so that's where you were. That's where it's froze. Is when I was showing the PDF.
The PDF never showed up.
Okay.
So, but there it is, and
Okay,
now we can see it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, no problem. So, all right, so I'm just gonna. I'm back into the CMS now. Do you see that, Sarah?
Yeah, I do. Sorry, I remuted myself.
All right, so next step is we're going to take that topic that we created and we're going to send it to the review process. So if I call my change status dialog, I'm currently at work. You see this is the highlighted box. And from there, I can go to review, which will trigger my review process for this individual topic. We can do review at the topic or at the map level. And one of the great advantage of DITA is this ability to review topic per topic. And if you write your topic in a nice componentized way where they are each independent from each other, then you can actually get a lot of work, a lot of review done in advance, in order to minimize the time you spend reviewing when the document is complete. So I'll send that to review. And the other thing that I will do from my review process is I will assign reviewers to that topic. So if I bring the assignments for this topic, you can see that there is one writer assigned to it. It's myself. Because I created it, I became the assigned writer. And there's a list of reviewers there, so I'm going to assign it to 2 reviewers in my list. So they will be the one asked and tasked to review this topic. Now, in your normal life workflow, they would have received an email telling them that they have things to review. So I will jump and with a URL for the review. So I'll jump straight to my browser and go to my review tool. So this is the one of the tools that's not actually within the unified interface. And the reason for that is that reviewers are not regular users of the CMS, so we want to keep their access to the CMS very easy, so they can log in from, they don't have to install anything, they don't have to get updated, they just have to point to a URL, enter their credential, and in their assignment section of the reviewer, they will see what has been assigned for them to work on. I currently have 2 things assigned for me to work on, so I obviously didn't finish a previous review process. But I'm going to review this one here, create a multi-word query that was assigned to me. So I'll just hit the review. And it's going to bring up a PDF rendering of that single topic. So not the entire map, but just that single topic. So that I can review it. It actually has a first page and all, but when I'm interested in that section here, and I have different annotation tool that I can use, so I can just put my comment. So I can put my comment like that. I can put a little post-it to say this is very short. All right, so I'm putting just comment. And as I work, as I make my comment, I can save that to the server. And one of the big advantage of this tool, or actually the big advantage of using a CMS, is the ability to have multiple users collaborating on the same content. And in this case, in the case of the review, what this tool allows the reviewer is to collaborate at the same time. So while to have multiple reviewers working on the same document. So I just opened another tab. I'm going to go to the same URL, but log in as a different user, which has also been assigned the same topic to review. And you can see I'm always using the same two reviewers, so this one didn't complete this other review as well. But I'm going to go back to this create multi-word query, open the same PDF, and you see there that I have the the comment from the previous reviewer. I can double click, I can see who made the comment and what the comment is. And I can look at all the, when that comment was made and all that. But I cannot modify them. They're the comments of the other reviewer. And I can make my own comment. I could highlight this and do a highlight and put in my own post-it at the end. Let's say and again save my changes to the server. And obviously, if I had 2 screens, 2 keyboards, and 4 hands, I could do both at once. But I have to. I'm a single guy impersonating 2, so I have to switch. So now if I'm back in this one as reviewer number 1, and I can, I'll just put another post-it here to say, should there be more steps? And then when I save my changes, now you see automatically I saw new comments pop up. They are the comments from the other reviewer. So I can see the comment that he entered. I cannot modify them. I can still at this time modify my comment, the one that I saved, the one I saved before. So both reviewers work at the same time. They see each other comment. And that can be more than 2. It can be any number of reviewers at the same time, collaborating on exactly the same document, each working on its own layer, adding their their review. They can see each other comments at their own until the review process completes, which can be because the reviewers accept or reject the topic, or if the writer decides or project manager or whoever in the technical publication team decides that the review process is completed. So I just make sure that all of their changes were saved. And what I'm going to do is simply disconnect them from there and go back to the CMS to complete the review process from the CMS. So I have this topic here.
Jean-François, there are a couple of questions about editing capability in the reviewer. do you have that same text markup tool that you have in sort of regular PDF? So if you wanted to change create to creating, can you actually mark it up that way, or do you have to use Post-it notes?
It's an annotation tool, so you can type in content, but you cannot change the actual content of the PDF itself. So it's really purely annotation. So in that sense, it might be a little different from the Adobe tool, in the sense that you cannot override the text and sort of write over the text that's in the PDF. You just put in comments. So you've seen when I when I type some content, it's actually typed over, a little bit like if you were just scribbling with your pen on top of the paper.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right, and while I'm there, were there any other questions before that?
No, it looked like it was just those two about the annotation and what the capabilities are there. It looks as though you've got a lot of different tools in there.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of tools, but it's all different variation of annotations on top of the PDF.
Okay.
So back in the CMS, what I'm going to do is change that status of that topic, which is currently in review. From there, it could go to approve, or I can bring it back to work. So what I'm going to do is bring it back to work to make the changes that were requested by the reviewers. And this portion here and the different path that you can go between all the states, this is what is configurable when we say that the workflow is configurable, is you can define which states that you want, how many states you have, and what are the transition, where do you go from review, does it always go back to the author, can the reviewer approve it directly? All of those things you can be configured within the CMS. So I'm going to go back to work, and I'm going to edit this topic. So basically, it locks it and it opens it. It was actually already open here. So now it's ready for me to work on it. And now as a writer, I want to see those comments from the reviewers. So directly from my client, my unified interface, I can call up this reviewer tool in revise mode, which means I'm going to look at the annotations, but I cannot make annotation anymore. So now I have this PDF here that opened with the same front page. I have the list of annotations here. I could click them and move directly to the annotation. And I'm just going to do a little trick with the screen. I'm going to minimize this and split this tool so that I can see both my topic and my PDF at the same time. So now, as a writer, I have the PDF with the comment, so the various comments that were entered. But you see that there's no toolbar to add comment anymore. At this stage, this review copy is frozen, and the only thing I have access to now is to changing my topic according to what was requested. So I can take this one here and say, it's going to be multi-word, and maybe with an S in word, multi-words query. And so I can say, okay, this comment here, this one here, add a dash. So you see here I have a list of the comments. So the comments they're in the PDF, but they've been captured by the CMS as well, so that they can be displayed in this view, so that I can decide to hide them or show them by group. Like I can hide all the ones made by Jean-François, so now they've disappeared, and I can bring them back. So if I have a lot of comments by different reviewers, I can work my way through them more easily. And I can set a resolution, so I can say this one is resolved. So I can put in a resolution comment. It's not necessary. So okay, this one is done. I'm going to hide it from the document. And I can go through the list of my comment. There it says that there are steps missing, so I'm actually going to create other steps like that, and I'm going to say, okay, this one is resolved, and this one here, should there be more step, it's accepted or resolved, whichever way. This is very short, so it should be decline. No, this should be shown. So I can go through the list of my resolution, and here, this last one here should probably be here. I'm just going to add an info and say so there I have completed all of my review. So I've had a review, I had comments here, annotations made by my reviewers. I go over all those, and as a writer, I add a resolution to them. So I say, okay, this has been done. And this PDF with the list of the comments and the resolution will be archived by the CMS, so that through the next review process, it's always possible to go back at the previous one and look at it and say, okay, what were the comments and what was the changes that the writer made, and more importantly is if some comments were not applied, why? And that's why we have the resolution comment here. And so that completes the review, the revised process. I can close that, bring my map back, and save my topic, save the changes I made, and release that to the server. My reviewers. And I have a I have my new revision saved on the server, and now I could in my current workflow, I would have to bring this to send that back to review. It would be possible to create a workflow where it doesn't necessarily go back to review, where there is it's the reviewer decides if it needs a review again on the second time. So it's all configurable. So are there other questions regarding the review?
Any review questions? But we will take questions at the end as well. So if you want to get those in there right now, then throw them on in. Oh, and you know what? We have a couple of polls we wanted to do. Do you want to tackle this now, or do you want to move on to the next?
I'm gonna continue to contribute, and we can come back to those at the end, along with if there are any global questions.
Okay.
So the last thing we're going to look at is the ability to have contributors or your subject matter experts, your technical expert, whatever, contribute content to the CMS. And the idea for that is not to bring them into the full UI of the tool, because they may be overwhelmed by all of this if they don't know DITA, if they don't even have a very little knowledge of what XML is. You don't want to throw them with all the complexity of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a tool, a product called XML Author from Quark, and which we integrated with the CMS. And as a technical writer, I'm going to create a new topic for my contributor. So I have a topic here. It's going to be the technical description of the search engine algorithm. So, and that's going to be just a concept. And this is the topic. I'm going to actually open it. Whoops, sorry. Before I can do that, I'm going to lock my map and do it again so that my topic is actually added to the map, technical. So this is a concept. It's going to be added to the map, and this is the concept that I want my my software developer to add content to. So I've created the topic. It has a title. I could put in a few instructions. Please provide description here. I could put in some text or not, depending if it's at ease with the tool. So I'm just going to save that. And now it works a little bit like the review in the sense that first I will assign it to a contributor. So this topic, I'm the writer because it was I created it. I'm going to assign myself as a contributor as well. And again, with the change status, I'm going to send it to the contribute state, which means to the CMS that it's now in the end of the contributor. And again, the contributor could be could receive an email telling him that there's work waiting for him for the CMS. And now the contributor in this scenario goes through via Word. So I hope everyone can see my Word tool. And so from there, I will go to my to-do list. So I just received an email telling me that I've got work to do. So I'm going to go on my to-do list. I'm already logged in, so it doesn't ask me for my login again. But there I have my technical description of the search engine algorithm, so I can open that. And now I can start working on the topic, but directly from the Word interface. So I have the familiar Word interface, but what I'm actually working on here is DITA topic. So the search engine so I can go on and create some content. I could even use the word corrector to actually change the title here, and insert some elements. I could bring in a bulleted list here, or just an I can make a bullet list like that. And I'm not going to actually write a full description of this, but I just want to show you. So as a the SME, I'm in the more familiar interface to provide the content in the CMS. I could even from here browse my disk to bring in an image, or browse the CMS to bring an image. I'm going to actually pull one from my disk. But I'm going to bring oh, okay, this is a big one, but okay. So I can provide content, I can provide image in that topic. When I'm done, I just hit the I'm done button. This is going to send back my changes to the server. So first it realized that I've added a new image, so it tells me here this is the search form of DITA CMS, and I can put a description, and so now it's adding this new image in the CMS, and now it's also adding the topic. So completed the first draft. And now it has saved my changes to the CMS. And if I go back in the CMS here, if I just refresh my map, this topic here that I had assigned to the and sent to contribute is now back in work. And as a writer, I can open it, and I will see the content that my contributor added. I just have to close it, reopen it. Now I see all the content that was provided by my contributor. I could go over that content, clean it up, verify it, maybe complete it, maybe enhance the data structure. But I've got at least the basic, the raw technical content entered directly by my SME, so I don't have to go and sit by the engineer and ask him questions and write that and then create a topic and have him review that. So he provides the initial content. As a writer, I will clean it up, make sure it's follows all the style guides of the companies for the text and for the structure, and then I could send it to review as well. So now that I've reworked it, I could send it back to review, or I could even send it back to contribute again to him so that he can, the engineer can complete or expand if there is some more details that is required. So I can collaborate with the subject matter expert on both sides, meaning reviewing the content that is written and ready to go out, and also contributing the raw content directly within the CMS to save some sometimes for the writers, so that they start directly from what the subject matter experts know in the specific subject. And that pretty much completes the demo. Actually, we've seen the three-part editing from the technical writers, the review process, collaborative review process, and also the contribute process for our subject matter expert. And all the way through that, I just released my map to save the new topic. At any point through that, I can always, as a writer or the information architect in charge of the map, or the project manager, I can always get an output of my map at any point in time to see what the progress is. And I can also track the progress of my project via the status here, so I can see, you can see most of my content is already done. It's been reviewed and approved, and I've got those two topics only that are currently at work and that needs to go through the review and approval process in order for this map to be complete. So are there other questions? And I think we can also go on to the two other questions that are in the poll, Sarah.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to go ahead and launch these two polls. One of them has to do with localization, which, as you know, is often a major justification for moving towards a CMS. So we wanted to ask you, those of you that are out there, are you localizing, and if so, how much are you doing? Is this sort of on your radar? Is this something that you're concerned about? There are a couple of comments. It looks like one came from somebody from Oxygen saying that there is a way to change DITA topics directly, that Oxygen does have a component for that, but then you don't get collaborative review. So there's kind of a trade-off there. So, all right, let's see what we've got here. I'm going to close this poll. Let's take a look at the results, which I think is, any surprises in there?
Oh yeah, we have done majority with more than 5 languages.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's
very few. Yeah, very few that are not localizing at all. Okay, now let's take a look at the other one, which has to do with the question of documentation challenges. If you do check off other, if this is not one of your if we don't have your challenges here, then do use the questions tab to give us an idea of what you're dealing with and what sorts of challenges you have that are your primary issue that you're addressing. So while that is in progress, oh, and you do have the option here of checking multiple things. I mean, you can check off any or all of these, actually. So I did have a question that I wanted to make sure got asked. What do you see as the biggest challenges in CMS implementation? What kinds of problems do people run into that are maybe they're expected or maybe not? But what kinds of things do you see that are really of issue there?
It depends on where the user, the group is coming from. So for users that are not working with DITA, we will see that the biggest challenge is that notion of componentization of the content, breaking up your content in pieces and starting to think of your content not as being your content, but as being a number of topics that you share with others. And it's not typically related to the CMS. It's just that working with the CMS enhances that notion of sharing your content, because now that you've created a topic into your map or your document, others very easily see it and can say, well, this fits also for the tutorial I'm writing on this thing. And therefore, your content is not your content anymore. It's become the content for everyone to share. So that's one challenge. For those coming from that are already working in DITA, so they've already sort of made that step and working in component and sharing those components, then often we will see that the notion of workflow and review and control over when you can change things and when you cannot change it is one of the steps to go through when you implement the CMS, because when you're working out of a file system, you basically change a file when you feel that it needs to be changed. And obviously you don't have any visibility on the impact of that change. While in the CMS there are statuses that tells you what is this file being worked on? Is it in the review process? Is it already passed and it's been approved? And therefore, if you change it, you first have to change the status. So there are more control over the change process. And while this is good, I think it's good at all, and it takes a little bit of time for users to get used to that notion that, well, you just cannot make a change anywhere at any time, because there are impacts, and the CMS will tell you what the impacts are between a topic. Like if I take this topic here, and we have a view dependency, which I actually forgot to show through the authoring, but if I select that view dependency, you see this tells me this topic here, create a one-word query. It's currently used in 3 different maps. It's used that in my map for the webinar. It's also used in those 2 other maps. So if I decide to change this topic, then I see right away what the impacts are on this topic. So currently all 3 maps are at work state, so I can imagine that it's not, it would be feasible for me to make a change to it. If I have one of this map in a review state or in already approved, it would require more change management in the system to handle that. So I think that's one of the important challenge of implementing a CMS is for the writers to learn to work in a controlled change environment.
Okay, so I wanted to put this question back up about the documentation challenges. Any surprises in those results for you?
In the results for the poll?
Yeah, so over half say minimal content reuse, no collaborative authoring and review, no version management, a few people, and then let's see, what do I have over here? Under other, difficult to use restrictive authoring environment. That's an interesting one. So it sounds like a mismatch of tools to requirements.
Well, it can be that sometimes when you start building your data solution, you use different tools that you try to adjust together, and at one point you don't have a complete flow of tools that works together with the same process in mind.
Okay, so I think we have time for one last, sort of small discussion. And I wanted to ask you about, oh, and somebody else said resource issues, so not enough people probably. I wanted to ask you about success indicators. When you talk to a customer or a potential customer, what sorts of things in your experience lead to great success with a CMS and maybe with DITA or a CMS, however you kind of want to take that. But what do you look for? Or maybe conversely, what sorts of things make you worry when you hear them from a customer?
Well, again, I think for DITA and for the CMS, a key factor of success is when the group, how could I say, embraces the technology and really gets a good technical knowledge, not necessarily by everyone in the team, but if I think the DITA implementation to be successful will require a core team or one technical users that will really understand the standard and everything that can be done with it, and that person or that group will be able to distribute that information and think about all the possibilities that DITA offers and the challenge to implement them, and then find the solutions that are appropriate for the team, because DITA has a lot of capabilities, but it's up to every team to find the right way for them to use it. And if a company has the technical knowledge inside of their organization, they will be more at ease using the standard. It's not to say that you should ask for external help on the standard and learning about it, but I think each company has to have knowledge, a good technical knowledge of it. And what we're looking for is when organizations have what we call the champion, someone in-house that is really driving that changes and has really the deep understanding of what DITA can do, and this will be a key factor in the success.
Okay. Well, I think with that, we're out of time. I want to thank you all very much for coming, and thank you to Jean-François for pulling off a live demo, which is always terrifying. We've got some additional events in this series coming up, and I'm not sure about you guys, but we'll be out at Writers UA in a couple of weeks. So we hope to see you either on another webcast or on another event. And Jean-François, thanks again for coming.
Well, thanks to you for the giving us that opportunity, and thank you everyone for attending.
Okay, we'll see you again soon. Bye.